So in this video guys, I'm going to show you how you can successfully tame a baby leopard gecko. Now we're talking a leopard gecko that's only a few weeks old. And the girl we're going to use to show you guys this is this girl just here. Now this is just one of our babies. She's due a clean out right now. That's why I've chose her. I've got her out for a clean out. So I'll take out some of her stuff just to give us a little space to work with. There's her moist hide, her food dish, her water bowl's gone. She is currently hiding underneath this cork bag just here. Now this is all alien to her. Look, you can see her poke her head out just there. Just there. So yeah, this is all alien to her. Let's get it back out for you. And she's not been handled that much. She's one of the ones that we bred successfully this year. If you want to learn how we've bred leopard geckos, I'll stick a little playlist in the top corner so you can click on that. So how are we going to tame this amazing beauty just here? She's absolutely stunning. So the first thing you got to do is be confident in yourself. If this is your first reptile, then you're going to be nervous. You're going to be skittish. You can see her backing up into the corner there. Now, again, if this is your first reptile, you're the one that's going to be nervous, and that's the worst part, is you being nervous. You have to think, she immediately thinks you're a threat to her. So you want to take it nice and easy. You also are quite scared about hurting her. She's scared of you hurting her as well. So you have to take it nice and easy. Now, you want to handle your leopard gecko. That's why you've clicked on this video. You want to learn how to tame it, and it just takes experience to do it. The more you handle your leopard gecko successfully, the more confident you're going to get. The more you handle your leopard gecko successfully, the more confident she's going to get. She is going to eventually learn that you're not a threat to her. So how do you handle a leopard gecko? It's quite simple. You can easily just put your hand in there so she can crawl on your hand. Now for the first few times, I like to just cup her up and get her out. It's going to stress her out to start with, but what would you rather have? Stress instantly for a few seconds and then try and calm her down on your hands? Or would you rather have 10-15 minutes of her stressing out trying to get onto your hands? So for instance, you might get a blur out on the camera because my arms are about to go in front of it, but there you go, she's trying to get out. I've got her nice and gentle. Oh, kill my girl. You'll notice, oh, see, she pops off if she doesn't want to. Oh, there we go. She's just take it nice and gentle. You never ever want to grab the tail. I have actually got to get some stuck shed off these toes actually, which is a job I'll do straight after this video. See, there we go. It's just a case of experience. You just got to keep going at it to handle your leopard gecko. Never get too scared. If you find she is getting far too edgy, so to speak, you can just leave her and try another day. But you at least want to get her onto your hands just that once, so that she's going to learn eventually that you are not a threat. Let's try it again. She just crawls straight over my hand. You notice how she's quite skittish. I'm going in both sides, going to cup her, but I'm keeping her very low to the ground. So if she does hop off like that, she's got a place to go perfectly fine. I'm sorry about the blurry camera there. So it's just a case of keep going at it. You don't need to worry about these guys biting you. Oops. Yeah, there we go. If they do bite, and they can bite, anything with a mouth can bite, it doesn't hurt. How does a leopard gecko bite feel? It feels, have you ever got your finger and ran it across a brick wall? That's exactly what a leopard gecko bite feels like. Also, a lot of people are also extremely worried about dropping their tails. Well, their tails will only drop if they feel super threatened. Not if so much, oh no, we're going to get picked up. That's more if it gets grabbed and tugged, just like a bird would feel when it gets picked up in the wild. Eventually you'll get to the point where she will quite happily sit there. Now as you'll notice, I've still got her low to the ground. If she does skit off, then there you go, she's gone straight down to the ground, and she's slowed down as well. She's starting to realise that I'm not a threat. Now this could take weeks and weeks and weeks. Check that out, a lovely piece of shed just there. Could take weeks and weeks and weeks for her to realise that you are not a threat. It could also take that long for them to realise, for you to build your confidence up. Let's go again. I don't like to get them boxed off into a corner, but sometimes that is exactly what's needed. She is absolutely stunning. She's one of this year's normal leopard gecko babies. I don't think there's a better morph than a normal. What do you guys think? Now, I'd like to ask you guys a question. You've obviously clicked on this video because you've got a baby leopard gecko that you're trying to tame. Let me know what your baby leopard gecko's name is in the comments below. You can see on her toes, she does have stuck shed. If you want to learn how to get that off, I'll stick a card right up here now. Just click on that and it will take you straight through, because it's something I'm going to do with her right now. So there's a few things you need to know first. If you're struggling to handle your leopard gecko and you've only just got your baby leopard gecko, you need to realise it's also a big stress getting used to the new environment that you've got it in. It's going to take him a good few days to get used to that environment before you start handling your leopard gecko. Me personally, I handle them straight away because I want them to get used to the environment and myself all at the same time, so they're only stressing out for a couple of weeks. They're only getting worried, and it slowly progressively gets better the more you do it. Now, you want to do it on their terms, so keep in mind they're a nocturnal species. You don't want to wake them up in the middle of the day to handle them, to get them used to being handled, because that's just going to freak them out even more, isn't it? So you've woken them up and, oh no, they're going to be sluggish, they're going to be a bit lethargic, you've just been woken up. So do it on their terms. They're a crepuscular species, which means they're dawn and dusk most active. So if you do it at dawn and dusk in their environment, boof, absolutely perfect. Your animal is going to get used to you, and you're going to get used to handling that animal. It's going to stress the leopard gecko out for a lot less time over the long term of its entirety. You're going to get confident at handling your leopard gecko, and your leopard gecko is going to get confident that you're not a threat to that actual animal. So there is another way of taming your animal. The typical old-fashioned put your hand in there and let him or her, whatever your leopard gecko is, come and explore, and he will sniff around your hands. Now, he may first, for the first few weeks maybe, be quite cautious and go and hide in a corner. Just be patient. You just got to wait around, do it every day. Even if he doesn't come near you, that routine of him coming up to you and smelling you, that gets you used to him. If you're really nervous, that's a great way of doing it. And let the gecko do it on its own terms. He'll just come up, smell you, he might lick you, because something you may not know is leopard geckos smell using their tongue. They've got a gland in the roof of their mouth called a Jacob's gland, and as they're licking, that's them smelling around the environment, getting used to all the new senses. So if you're in there every day with your hand, they're going to get used to your hand and they're going to start crawling on it. Now, the second it starts to crawl on you, don't just lift your hand up and go, oh look, I've got him, oh look, he's come out, he's taken. No, he'll come onto your hand, and then the next day he might come onto your hand, and the next day he might come onto your hand. This might not happen every single day, because just like we do, they have bad moods, they have bad days, and all that sort of stuff as well. But keep your hand there, and then once, lift it up slightly, maybe tilt your hand slightly so it's a different surface. He's got a grip a little bit, gives him a bit of muscle workout in his legs, and it's just a bit of movement, and that always works as well. Eventually you'll get to the point where he'll just come straight up to your hand, you can pick him up and bring him out. But if you do it that way, be warned that you going in there after that to grab him, to lift him up, to show off to your friends or your family, or just to sit there with him, stroking him, whatever, that's a different way than what he's already used to. I clean these out quite often. I just scoop them out now, and that works perfectly fine for me. But what are you worried about with your leopard gecko and handling your leopard gecko? Because the owner, not a lot of people will admit it, but it's often the owner that's really cautious, really scared, really sort of cautious of it. You might get bitten, you might drop their tail. If you don't know what drop their tail is, I've mentioned it earlier in this video, they can physically lose their tail. It will grow back, just grow back as a bulb. I'll probably stick a picture up here of one now, because my male leopard gecko, my big breeder male leopard gecko, has got a bulb tail. That happened way before he came into my care, but he's doing just fine. It's just never going to look as they would in the wild. Let me know in the comments below if this is true with you. Are you the one that's really scared? And what are you scared about? There's a lot of people that follow this channel that will be able to reassure you and tell you of any experiences. If you have any questions, they'll be able to answer them. Just stick it down in the comments below, and I'm sure either me, myself, or somebody else will get back to you with the answer that you're looking for. So just to show you guys that wasn't just a random tame leopard gecko that I do have, here is, that's obviously the one we've just been showing you guys. She's probably going to be under a hide. There she is. As you know, that's the one we've just been working with. I'll leave her there. I won't put her hide back in yet because my concentration is not fully on her. This one just here is her sister. Now this one is a lot more skittish, so we'll put her down just there, and I'll show you how I handle this one as well. And this is exactly this. Oh, see how skittish this one is? Now that is just because I've just got her, I've just opened her up now. That's it, I've just took her hide out. The best way I do it is I remove anything that could potentially cause any problems. Definitely move the water dish or anything ceramic that you've got in there. That is just a toilet roll holder, which I made a little tiny hide out of. Now she is very skittish, so I'm being very, very gentle. There we go. Keeping her very low to the ground. She hops off if she wants. Now look how skittish she is. So there we go. She feels secure. I'm confident. If I was nervous and shaking, she'd also be nervous and shaking. I've got her very low to the ground. If she does want to hop off, she can. Just put another hand there. There we go. And then, oops. Come on, yeah. There she go. She ran off. Absolutely stunning girl. She's the sister to the one you've just seen, and as you can tell, she's very skittish, but the same rules apply. If I put her down, you can see she doesn't even, oh, there we go. And then I gently put everything back in, nice and easy. So you can see she's up in this corner. Well, this side is the side that the water bowl goes in. This side, I'll try and move her again. There we go. Come on, out of the way, girl. Come on, out of the way. There we go. That side is where her moist hide goes. And just there is where her... Let's see how skittish and jumpy she is. There we go. She slows down when she gets on the hand, simply because she's frozen. It's something new for her, so you have to teach her that you're not a threat. Don't do anything to lose your trust once you build it. So, I mean, I can't get her off. I'm not going to get her off. If she wants to walk off, she can of her own accord. So I don't know how long this video is now going to be. Oh, see, oh, there we go. And I've dropped the lid on, nice and gentle, just to not spook her too much. That is it. So that is it. They just simply need some time to get used to you, and you need to build your confidence up. After you've done that period, you're going to have a happy 15 to 20 years with this amazing animal. Thanks for tuning in, guys. I really appreciate you all. If you're new around here, please consider subscribing.